Today we are at Maine's largest antique mall, the Fairfield Antique Mall in Fairfield, home of the Homer Simpson real life size display. It's pretty cool to see. It's in the basement if you want to check it out. And over here we have some jewelry, but look at those mermaids kind of in the center there. I believe they were charms and they were just really cool. I found some spaghetti poodles. They had some paint loss around the eyes and we're in the $20 range, so I did have to leave them. Over here, this vendor had a 20% off sale, so I'm just going over to see if there's anything I absolutely need. And license plates from every state, very well organized in alphabetical order. I mean, this place has everything. It has records, toys, it has vintage, antiques, primitives, you name it, they have it. Today we're on the hunt for glass. And this is actually a local honey hole to where I spend a lot of time up in Maine. So I'm familiar with most of the booths and the ones I usually just go to. It's 5 different stories, 5 different levels. That's a Vassart paperweight and it was $30. So I did pick that up. I do believe this booth was having a sale. Over here was a fun treat. It was a light bright. I used to play with this as a kid. I love that they have the original box and it was actually plugged in so you could play with it. I liked seeing that. That was fun. They also sell fishing lures in this particular booth. You never know what you're gonna get. Now this vendor has some fantastic fenton and I have bought a lot from her in the past, but that plum opalescent bell has been haunting me for years. It's like $60, so I can't do it, but I love seeing it every time I come in. She has some carnival glass, uranium glass, teacups. Real nice vendor. I've met her before. Here is a Caithness, and it is the Reflections paperweight. I did end up buying that one. And this one had no maker on it. It was just really cool swirl, but without a maker, I did leave it behind. It was $15. We have a paperweight sale coming up on knickknacks. Look at this chest. It is beautiful. And it is $325. They said it was Asian. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not a furniture expert, but it was beautiful. There were some Crocs, some stoneware. Really good prices on the Crocs at this antique mall because they're pretty common up here in Maine. This vendor is a tiny little locked cabinet, and I've bought some great things out of this booth cabinet, I should say, so I had to check it out. Over here there was some tin types and a bone cuff bracelet. That was neat to see. Good prices. They run around $35 to $75 on those photos there. I've gotten some good jewelry from this particular vendor, but I don't think they've stocked up since I've been in here last. So I didn't find anything that I needed to take home. But they still had some really cool Christmas over here, some ceramics, some toys. I have to check it out because this vendor likes to hide stuff. And then we hit the jackpot. There are some paperweights here. That's a Nancy Furman. Pete helped me out with some of the IDs on this because the signatures were kind of hard to read. So that's a Nancy Furman. That is a glass house, hanging hearts, and it was marked for $35. The other one was $30, and there was a sale in this booth. So I got a really good deal on those. I thought that was worth picking up. And I think there was one more. Look at these thrones. Are they amazing or what? Like, I just wanted to sit in them, but there's signs saying, please don't sit in them. But look at the detail on this woodwork. It is stunning. The upholstery looks new, so something tells me they're not true antiques, but maybe antique inspired. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but they are stunning to look at. Okay, over here we found more paperweights, but none of these were signed. I do believe them all to be Asian imports. I do like that bird. And that blue one kind of threw me off because it might have been hand blown by that dimple underneath the label. But I left them because, I don't know, I just want more higher end ones for the paperweight sale coming up. Let's see, what else do they have? Oh, over here they had some salt and pepper shakers that were really cool and some lanterns. And then I found this Glass Eye Studio. However, I think it was marked at $38, and I've looked at it before, and I just can't do $38 for resale. That's full retail right there. There's some flower frogs and the world's largest tinola fish still here, which is still a good deal. I think he's only like 20 something dollars, I think. I found that perfume bottle. It was marked for 65. And just looking around because I have found other things at this particular booth before. And books. Look at this cat. This cat is amazing. It's like this wood folk art cat, and then his tail is just made out of beads. I'm not doing a really good job showing you. There we go. He's so adorable. I think he was marked at $28. So as cute as he was, I did not get him. Nice bridal basket there, though, I missed. And there's the paperweights from the back. We already looked at that Glass Eye Studio. I should say from the front. That's the front. But all of them were pretty ordinary, common ones, so I left them. There was an Empoli decanter bottle. It was missing its stopper, so I left it there. But really fun to find. And then they had this Smith glass with an S mark on the bottom there. It's a cabbage leaf pattern in a blue iridescent. Some case glass, the really cool pottery piece there. And I think the pottery piece was 15, so not bad. And then over here, there was some dolls. There was a nun doll and more paperweights. But again, pretty common ones, but they were really reasonably priced. I think they were like $10 to $15 each, so not too bad. And some of them were really cool, nice shapes, designs to them. But I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt for better ones, I should say. There's nothing wrong with these. That was a pretty cool one. It was $35, and it was like an atomic bubble going up the center and a red base, so I liked that one. And some red squirrel ones. Of course, I have to look at all of them, and that was probably my favorite one. It looked like an ice cube. Again, not marked, so I'm not so sure if that's a maker to that one or not, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then up here, this vendor had what I thought was a paperweight, but it had a pencil holder hole in the center, so neat to see. And what else did they have? Oh, they had all kinds of glass in there. They had carnival glass. Over here, they had some lampshades, some ceramics, some ducks, some photos. Sorry, I'm a little bit in a rush because I only had an hour to shop. This is a really cool green splatter glass ashtray that I thought was nice. That's a cool lampshade there. And then salt and pepper shakers. Look at those little squirrels. They were cute. And then over here, this booth had those Belgium apothecary jars with the rounded lids. I think it was $45 for all three, which wasn't that bad. And then some really cool old soda bottles there. I like to look at those, see what the patterns are. Over here, oh, I got the Salesman Sample wood stove. I'm a sucker for those little stoves. I have one in my van. And they had a full-size bar with whole kinds of fun displays on it. And teapot, little salt and pepper shaker set. And then over here, more teacups. And then a label maker. Remember that? The Astro label maker, which I thought was fun. This vendor had really cool shelving. I like coming into this particular booth because she has jewelry that I find every once in a while that's pretty neat. She's got lots of vintage clothing, but I like going through the jewelry. So that was a little cool guitar. Now this bee fascinated me. I looked at that for quite a while. It was $15, which was kind of like full retail, I think, but the red glass rhinestone and the red rhinestone eyes was like, I don't know, is that something good? And you don't get cell service in this building, so it's hard to look anything up. And just digging through all the jewelry, seeing if there's anything I had. I ended up putting the bee back. I don't know. I thought 15 was just a little high. Look at that spring chair. All right, I've been looking at furniture lately because I want to put some furniture in the van and swap out what I have. I'm kind of looking for a secretary's desk so that way I can work and still have storage at the same time. This one is not my style, but the one over here was perfect. Hold on, look at it. Look at how stunning that is. I love the carved woodwork. I love the color. I love that it was a secretary's desk. And then you see it, the sold sign. I'm like, come on. That would have been perfect for the van. I'm trying to get it open without jamming it. But my goodness, it's so pretty. It was a little loose on the hinges, so I'm like, all right, fine, maybe I wouldn't have got it, but that would have been an easy fix. Okay, this is one of my favorite vendors. She always has some fun stuff. The little panda cup there was adorable. And she had the grandpa mugs. Down here, she had a little kitty trinket, little egg cup. Really cute stuff always. And it's this like center shelving unit. When I first got here, there was like 5 people in this booth. I'm like, what is happening? So I left and came back to it because it's on the way out to check out. And then this section is all pottery. There's a nice little weed pot there. That was $15. Pretty much all our pottery is right around $15. And I usually rate that when she has a sale. That was a fun little chip and dip set right there. Nice cat photo. And then over here she has some kitchenware and a teapot set. And look at these anthropomorphic pea salt and pepper shakers. They were $28. Japan. I'm not sure what they would sell for, so I left them behind. I thought 28 was probably sounded just about right. And then look at these little salt and pepper shakers. It's a priest and a nun. I've never seen these before. I'm not sure who makes them. They too were also $28. And I'm like, wow, those are really cool. I wish I had cell service so I could look them up. Then she had some little bluebird salt and pepper shakers down here, which were just as adorable. Little Japan marks on the bottom there. And those were 16, I believe. And just got to check for anything else in here. Because all the booths are filled with like randomness. There's usually no theme in one particular booth. They just load it up with all kinds of vintage goodies and you just have to look around. Here's the Russian nesting dolls, the Natrashka dolls. And they ranged from like 20, I didn't check the older ones, the bigger ones, but they started right around $20, which I thought was a fair deal. And then over here we had some glassware, but this cat caught my attention. And I thought it might be an Italian cat, but it wasn't marked. The sticker had the name of the maker on it, but it wasn't someone I was familiar with. And it was cute, adorable, but I believe it was like 20-something dollars. So I didn't take it with me, but that's okay. I already found my paperweights and I was happy with those. I have found a little pottery bud vase there, and I thought that was pretty cool. The shape of it definitely looked like it had some age. And then there was some Viking pieces over here, little compote, and back there's a little handkerchief Viking compote. And then they had some, I think those were marked as Blanco candle photos. I'm not sure if they are or not, but that's what they had them marked as. And jewelry box, some glassware. Those dot ones were really fun. They were $15 for a set of 3. And then over here, this vendor had some really high-end Fenton. This is a nice hand-painted blue Fenton vase, and it was over $100. And then they had a chubby bird with a cabbage rose pattern, the long-tail blue custard bird, and a ruby red iridescent carnival glass bowl, but the prices were right at full retail, so I did leave them. But then I got distracted by this derpy looking dog, and it was only $20, but I think it was probably a Mexican or a Chinese import, which, I mean, they're still cute, they're adorable, but I mean, it had a nice polished bottom. I don't know. I got kind of like double guessed myself because they were well done. And that owl was $28. I don't think they're Murano or anything like that, but still well done. And then that flower bowl was really cool. That was $15, and it was just really thick art glass with a flower design in the center. And let's see, what else do they have? Oh, some big old mixing bowls. This pottery mug was really fun to find. It said rope on it, and I thought the handle was more of a snakeskin, but then it said rope, so maybe it was rope. And that threw me completely off. Over here we have some jewelry that I had to check out, and there were some really fun pieces in here for Halloween. That was one that was Christmas, and there was some plastic beads I had to look at, of course. Oh, there's a Santa star, and I'm like, where's the brooches? There they are. Under all these beads I found some brooches, and I'm just digging through them, and there's the Halloween one that caught my eye. It was $15, and it was a moon, a ghost with a witch hat on a broom, so it kind of confused me. And it was marked. I couldn't read the mark, but at $15, I'm like, I hemmed and hawed over it. There's a nice snowman one, and then there's a jack-o'-lantern one. And I just kind of like said, $15 is a lot for one brooch. So I left it behind. It was just a Halloween one. And, oh, that was a fun stone. And some plastic ones up here. And then over here, this particular vendor had a basket. It was $15, I believe. And I thought, wow, that's a really good price. It looks like the fronds with that thorn handle there. And then I'm like, nope, no handles, no handles. That was a really fun, probably Victorian piece with some age to that one. Some case glass back here. Look at the handle on there. It had a nice effect to it, like a thorny effect to it towards the applied part. But that one was priced, I think, in the $70 range, so I left it behind. There was some carnival glass. I really liked this particular vase. It had a berry pattern on it. And that was a nice Blanco vase back there. And let's see, what else did we find? Oh, there's a nice little pink optic cased glass with the thorns. And that one was only $18, but it did have like a little manufacturer bubble defect there on the side, so I went against it, and plus the handle threw me off. Here we got a little plastic deer. I dropped a brooch. There's some uranium glass up there. Don't worry, I put it back. There it is. There was these jewelry jars that I had to look at, some mixing bowls down here, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's a Bill Campbell. So I picked it up and turned it over. Sure enough, it was signed Campbell, and they had it for $20, and I like, that's a really good price for a Bill Campbell. However, my senses kicked in and said, you know what, that's too big. It's going to take up a lot of space in the van. So I put it back. I do have some regrets, but I put it back. There was a glass mushroom that was $30, and I'm not sure the maker on that one. I liked it. I considered it, and then I said 30 is kind of high, especially where I don't know who the maker is. Some nesting hens over there, and then a little cute little dream pet. There was some salmon falls in this booth that I thought was pretty cool. They had one that was still in its original package, a Christmas ornament. And there was some moon and stars up here, some enamel, and I should have checked to see what was in that briefcase because now I'm curious. There was a really large perfume bottle with a twist top. It was $20, and I really just love the roundness of it. I love round things. I love paperweights. I love snow globes. So that really caught my eye. Nice and pulley paste right to the left there that I totally missed. But when I turned it over and looked into it, I mean, it definitely had like a crystal quality to it, but inside there was these flaws, and I don't know if it's going to pick up, but I'm like, wow, they got some weird flaws inside. So I left it. I did love it. Had it not had those flaws there, I would have picked it up. There it is. There's the Salmon Falls. It's a Hellenberg, and I love picking up Hellenberg pieces. She was an artist for Salmon Falls. She does the teddy bear line. But it was right under $30, so I like, that's full retail, so I did leave it, even though I loved it, and it was in its original package. This cat, oh, this cat. It's a heavy black glass cat. Now, they had it for $44, and they marked it as Baccarat on the tag, and nowhere, anywhere could I find an acid logo or etching or a signature, so I left it. There's a Merry Mushroom set, the whole canister set. I believe it was $3.75, $2.75, $3.75. Down here they had a Persian medallion fairy lamp. It was $65, but it was amber. And if it was any other color, I might have picked it up for the glass sale this weekend on Knickknacks, because it is a 3-piece Fenton one, which is pretty cool. Then they had this paperweight, which I thought was just a Chinese import, but I did like the Millefiori colors. They had some lady head vases and this beautiful acrylic iridescent vase with olives on it. Grapes? All right, I had to fix that baby I knocked over. Well, that vase was like over $200, so I did leave it. And I looked at it before, and I should have remembered. Look at these little raccoons. Adorable. And over here, I'm laughing because I know what's coming. They had a Harmony Kingdom, and I wanted to get at it, except I didn't realize at the time that this particular shelf had a barrier in the middle, and boom, I just whacked my hand on it. I'm like, oh, I can't get to it. So I had to go all the way around to the other side to get what I was looking for. Okay, let's keep going. There was a paperweight with a colorful splatter swirl to it. There was a Fenton basket in there. That was a nice little metal vase. And this yellow dish with the handle was really pretty. And I think they only had like $10 on it. So not a bad price. Not a bad price at all. And that was an UNESCO ceramic vase with flowers all over it, and that was only $15. And then this cornucopia Fenton Silvercrest was only like $6. So really good prices in this particular booth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.